So I told somebody on Twitter that reverse racism is not a thing. Racism is a thing. That is the truth. We've come into a situation, a mindset in America, among many people, not all people, but there was this word, this term called reverse racism. And what that meant was white people, Caucasian Americans, as they could be politically referred to as, are not people in the sense that if you are pointing to their race and judging them based on that immutable characteristic, well, it's not a hateful act. It's not racism. You know what it is? It is reverse racism. It's totally separate, man. It's the exact opposite of racism. It's reverse racism. It cannot be directed under that ideology of social justice, the modern religion that is social justice, as some call it, cultural Marxism. The majority cannot be oppressed. They are the oppressor. They have a role in this postmodern ideology. That role is the oppressor. They are the majority. And yet, of course, democracy, 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 democracy. That's the way. That's the best. There's no question. Clearly, there is a question. Okay? Direct democracy is enforcing tyranny. Okay? The majority, the 51%, choose the fate of the other 49. That's tyranny. Okay? Now, I do believe in democracy. Okay? I think it was Winston Churchill that said it was an imperfect system, but the best we got. It's the best we got. So they say reverse racism. And I say reverse racism is not a thing. Racism is a thing. And you can be racist towards a white person. You can be racist towards a black person. You can be racist towards a Hispanic. Somebody from Asia, Europe, Australia, anywhere in the world, whatever their tone of skin is, whatever race they're part of, you can be racist towards them if you're, in my view, a bad person, an evil person, an immoral person. Because I don't believe we should be judging by immutable characteristics. And of course, and yet, if you're a social justice disciple, here we are. You're judging people by something they can't change, the color of their skin. Now, they could be more aware, if their culture is dominant, of course they could be more aware of what they're doing, what kind of situation they're creating. But this goes for all cultures and all races, and of course both sexes and all genders. All right? It doesn't mean that the majority group, which is only the majority, in the case of the white people, they're only the majority in certain Western countries, okay? And certain other countries in the world that are majority white. In reality, they are the minority in the world because they're only one of many ethnic groups. So when you say it's about reverse racism, or it's reverse racism, that's very myopic. It's very short-sighted, okay? It means that you're looking at a very small sample set of the full world. If you're saying that one race is exempt from racism, well, I'm sorry, that's simply not the case. It's not true. We should be judging people by their character, the pros and cons of what they bring to the table and their words and actions, their merit and their flaws. We shouldn't be looking at their color of their skin or the color of their hair, the color of their eyes, what gender they are, what sex they might be, what their religion might be. That's not separating people out into two groups, the oppressor and the oppressed, for me, it just doesn't work. I would say it's kind of divisive. You might disagree. If you disagree, leave a comment below and we can talk about it. I don't really mean to demonize people that think in these terms. I want to reach out and I want to learn more. That's why I have some tweets, questions for the disciples of given modern religions. You might be devoutly secular, but you still need something to lean on. So you might have a postmodern belief system. I've indicated moral panic, outrage culture, censorship, social justice, global warming, and of course institutions as several modern religions. And people will put aside their reason and fall in on faith at times that these systems and these methods for approaching life in reality and society work. Of course, we need to do the science. We need to prove with the scientific method, looking at results, A/B testing, that these things work. And of course, that's why I'm here. And I provide a platform and a venue where we can say whatever we want and try to find the truths in between.